Hi, everyone. Good morning. Gene Nichols back with you. We welcome to our microphones again Dr. Rick Axelrod, CEO and Medical Director of LifeStream Blood Bank. He's busy these days, but he wishes he was a little busier. He's here to explain all about the ongoing blood shortage, the need for donors to step up, and what's coming up with the 2021 Summer Blood Drive Challenge again. Dr. Rick Axelrod, welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Gene. And just to let everyone know, we are in the middle of an urgent blood shortage. Even though the pandemic is easing, the businesses still haven't fully opened that normally hosted blood drives. Schools are still out of session. Colleges are still out of session. The churches have been reluctant to restart blood drives. So we still have a little bit of time before we get back to normal with blood drives happening in the area. So we essentially are running at 50% capacity of what we normally collect, and that's why we're in the middle of a blood shortage.
Can you assess for us, Doctor, what the pandemic has meant? Because I think it's meant for your blood bank, LifeStream, a reduction in donations overall. Have other blood banks across the country and even others across Southern California felt that same reduction?
Yes, this is a national phenomenon. So everybody has lost a huge amount of blood donations as a result, particularly of the schools and colleges and churches not able to hold blood drives. So to give you a perspective, in the Coachella Valley, we normally collect about 20,000 units of blood. And as a result of the pandemic, that number was decreased to 10,000 during the same time period. So literally 50% of what we normally collect. So we really need people to come into our donor centers now. While we're not doing as many blood drives as we can, we have two donor centers in the Coachella Valley, and we really need people to step up and support us. We are in an urgent crisis right now.
I realize that blood and blood products are perishable. They only have a certain amount of shelf life. But in a perfect world, Dr. Axelrod, how much of a supply on the shelves would you like to see?
Normally, in a regular period, we have 3 to 5 days of inventory on the shelf. What we have now is less than a half day of blood of all the blood types on the shelf.
That limits routine day-to-day operations at hospitals and medical centers and endangers the overall blood supply if we ever did get some kind of catastrophic event.
That's correct. Right now, we are challenged to just meet the needs of normal hospital operations. If there was a catastrophe on top of that, like a shooting, a bus crash, or an earthquake that wound up having damage and people getting hurt and needing blood, we wouldn't have any blood to be able to help them.
So there are plenty of appointments available. The best thing to do, people can do it online, lstream.org. They can call 1-800-TRY-GIVING. I know during the pandemic you were hoping people would make appointments instead of just walking in, but the walk-in option is still there, isn't it?
That's correct. We prefer appointments, but at this point, walk-ins are also welcome. You may have to wait a little bit longer than somebody who has an appointment, but you're absolutely able to come on in if you didn't make an appointment.
And what about the various blood types? What is in need the most? And then are there blood types that you'd rather get the platelets and plasma from those donors instead of whole blood? How does that work?
Right. So for us, O is the universal donor. So those are the people that we definitely need to donate blood. The other shortage we're having, which is unusual and is also a national phenomenon, is a Group B shortage. So right now, Group O and Group B, we need for the whole blood, the regular blood donation, and Group A's and AB's, we want to do platelets and plasma. People may not realize if you're a Group A or a Group AB, if you're a Group AB, your platelets and plasma are 100% compatible with patients in the community. You are the universal donor for plasma and platelets. Group A individuals are compatible with 90% of the population for platelets and plasma. So that's why we want those two blood types to donate platelets and plasma, where the Group O's are compatible with 100% of the population for red cells, and the Group B's, just because they're rare, we need them for the people who are Group B.
We are talking with Dr. Rick Axelrod. He is a wealth, a fountain of information on this stuff. He is the CEO and the medical director of LifeStream Blood Bank. Thanks so much for tuning in. He mentioned 2 locations, of course. They have the La Quinta facility, which is over there on Corporate Center Drive, right next to the post office. This is just north of Highway 111 off Adams. And then there's the Rancho Mirage location on Bob Hope Drive right there at 111 in the Hobby Lobby Shopping Center. If you go to lstream.org, you can make an appointment right there, or you can do it at 1-800-TRY-GIVING. And I know you're ramping up while you need donors right at this moment, Dr. Axelrod. You are readying for another run at another summer blood drive challenge, and you've been relatively successful now on a number of years of this challenge, haven't you?
Yes, we have. Many, many years ago, we started what we called the 9 city challenges, where all the cities compete against each other to see which community can collect the most blood. And it's a spirited, kind challenge. It's all goodwill to make sure that people don't forget that in the summer, even though they may be vacationing or the snowbirds are leaving, the need for blood in the hospitals doesn't go away. Cancer doesn't take a vacation. Heart disease doesn't take a vacation. Premature babies don't take a vacation. So those people still need blood, and we still need blood. And so we have this challenge to highlight the need for blood and hopefully get us enough blood to get us through the summer.
The Summer Blood Drive Challenge starts on the 1st of July?
Yeah, so there are 2 ways that your blood donation can count towards the challenge. When you donate, if you donate at one of the donor centers, you tell the people that are collecting your blood which city you're representing, and they'll make sure that's documented. Or when your city is holding a blood drive, if you donate at the blood drive, that blood drive automatically counts towards the number of units of blood that are being collected by the city. So whether you donate in a blood center or you donate at one of the blood drives that your city is holding to compete, both of those will be counted.
LifeStream Blood Bank is celebrating its 70th anniversary. The challenges that probably existed 70 years ago, can you confirm that they kind of still exist today, don't they?
They do. Blood donation and having enough blood for your community has always been a challenge because it's not really the first thing that's on people's mind of things to do today. But what I encourage people to think about is, where do we have the opportunity to help save somebody's life? And just the simple act of kindness of coming in and donating a unit of blood, which would probably take no more than an hour, you could save up to 3 lives. And so I hope that information will really put donate blood today at the top of their list, and especially now while we're in the middle of a blood shortage.
Folks, if you do donate blood right now, you will still have plenty of time to wait for your next turn to come around and still participate in the Summer Blood Drive Challenge, because that challenge goes right through the end of August. Is that right, Doctor?
That's correct. And the other thing to note is that we are giving T-shirts out now for people that donate blood, and we're giving a special T-shirt for the 9 City Challenge. So if you donate now and then you donate again in August when you're eligible again, you can collect both T-shirts on behalf of LifeStream and be an ambassador and wear those T-shirts out and about so people can ask about it, and you can tell them how you donated blood and helped save 3 lives in the community.
And Doctor, the last time we spoke, you were finishing up the big fundraising drive, trying to collect some money because you need 2 brand new green bloodmobiles. How did that fundraising effort go, and where do you stand in getting those 2 new bloodmobiles, as we hope blood donation mobile drives will be increasing here as we get into the school season?
Yes, so we actually had a very successful campaign. We had a goal of collecting $400,000 to purchase the 2 mobile coaches, and we actually collected $370,000. So we didn't actually hit the goal, but we came close to it. We do have a couple of grants that don't get approved until July. So if those grants get approved, then we actually will hit the goal that we had. And the intention is to get those 2 new bloodmobiles by the end of the year. We've already put our orders in because the 2 bloodmobiles that we have that we're using in the desert now will no longer be able to be used after December 31st because California has new diesel regulations, and our bloodmobile coaches are not compliant with that, and they have to be taken out of service at the end of the year.
In a high-tech world where everything seems to be now in a little computer that is in the palm of our hand, there's still nothing to replace a human arm that stretches out, making a contribution to fellow human beings. So something as simple as just saying, yes, I want to help somebody else, is really at the core of our foundation of helping our society, especially those in need the most. Is that true?
That's absolutely correct. There is no artificial blood that's available. They've been working on it for a really long time, and I don't think it's going to be here for another 20 years at least. So we really rely on humans to come in and donate, and the kindness of people, the altruism of people who want to help their community members and help save their lives. And I tell people, think about paying it forward, because by the time we reach 80 years old, if we're fortunate enough to live to 80 years old, 90% of people will need at least 1 unit of blood. And at that time, we probably won't be able to donate it ourselves. So I ask people to donate, pay it forward now, because we'll be using it later on. There is no upper age limit for blood donors. If you are in your 80s and you're feeling fine, you are absolutely allowed to donate. So some people self-defer because they think there's an upper limit to donate. Some people think it's 70 or 75. We have donors that are in their mid to upper 80s that come regularly because they're fit and healthy and they're able to donate.
Love it. 800-TRY-GIVING. That's 800-TRY-GIVING, or on the web at LifeStream.org. LifeStream also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. And, of course, you can hear our regular interviews as well right here with Dr. Rick Axelrod, CEO, Medical Director, President of all things happening at LifeStream Blood Bank here in the Valley and beyond. Thanks ever so much for your time and expertise, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm Gene Nichols.